It's always struck me that text was just this beautiful, incredibly important part of social science. It's the main way people communicate with each other. And the fact that we're living through these two amazing revolutions, the computing revolution that icer really represents, and the digital revolution where people are leaving cookie crumbs of information for us, that digitally available text surrounds us, and there's just so much of it. It just seemed like a shame, right, not to take advantage of that, harness both of those things and point them in the direction of social science research. So I think one of the things that makes our research different is that we treat text as data. So one of our projects is related to human rights and human rights reports. And what we're trying to do is understand how the actual text using machine learning and natural language processing techniques has evolved over time. And another concerns doing something similar, but for speeches of leaders over time. There's a debate in the literature about whether human rights are actually getting better or not. Because the human-coded scores of people reading these reports actually show that there's been no improvement in human rights over the last 30, 40 years, despite increased attention, which is surprising and a little bit disappointing to people. And one of the things that people have argued in response is that actually what it is there's just more information. That if there's a violation around the world, we find it now and we didn't before. And so actually human rights have gotten much better. It's just that we're finding more violations. And this is actually something that we can look at, and we do. I think one of the most surprising things we found was while there are these changes, there's actually an incredible structure to them. So there's a long history of talking about physical integrity rights, of which torture we can think of as a specific aspect of physical integrity rights. And what we find is that the new aspects that we discover in recent reports are nested within these more general categories. And so we think about it a lot like movie reviews, right? So you can think about a human rights report for a country as like a movie review of that country. And you could hate the movie, right? But you could also talk about whether you liked the plot or you hated this actor or didn't like, this aspect of the screenplay. And the same thing for human rights we're finding, is that reviews of human rights talked more about specific actors and acting, and less about whether overall it was a good movie or not. We couldn't do any of this without icer and high-performance computing here. And we're social scientists, so we're also not the most efficient programmers in the world, right? And so having a resource, people to talk to with questions and help us is integral. And having the computing power to do things maybe 90% of what's efficient, that also helps us a lot too as social scientists.